Hi, welcome to Adventures with Reid and Tiff. My name is Reid, and today I'm going to be talking about what we're going to be bringing with us to camp at the 2025 Awakening Summer Music Festival, which is going to be outside of Tilburg, Netherlands, and we're going to be getting there through Amsterdam. So we'll be taking a plane from Toronto, Canada to Amsterdam, and then from there we're going to be going to Tilburg and then shuttle bus to the actual festival. So everything that we're bringing, we want to be as compact as possible, but we're not too worried about the weight because we're not actually going to be walking or carrying it super long distances. So it can be a little bit heavier, a little bit more comfortable because we're going to be spending 3 nights in it at the festival, and comfort is important for the little amount of sleep that we will be getting. Um, so this year, the weather, we're 2 weeks out now, so we have an idea of what the weather is going to be. It's going to be somewhere around 18 to 23 at night, and then Celsius, and then it's going to be anywhere from uh, 25 to 30, 31 degrees Celsius during the day. Um, so because we're still 2 weeks out, I'm not going to talk about clothing. Clothing should always just be whatever is going to be comfortable for you for being at a rave for 3 days. So making sure you have enough clothing and that it's comfortable and that it's going to keep you cool if it's sunny and hot, because there's not a lot of shade in the festival grounds unless you're in one of the stages that is in a tent, but there's not too many of those. The other things to consider is all the restrictions. They do have a lot of restrictions on what you can bring in with you. There's an FAQ on the website that shows all the restrictions, but when we went in 2023, the ones that security was catching people on and making them throw out things for was uh, for any sort of glass bottles. And in the case of glass bottles, it wasn't really the drink bottles because it was a lot of colognes and perfumes that people were having to throw out. They also have pretty strict restrictions on what amount of drinks you can bring in, what the alcohol content is, everything like that. So when we were going in, they were making a lot of people throw out the drinks that they were bringing in to be within the limit. Other thing was because people were bringing foods like cheeses and meats and breads and everything like that. A lot of people brought some small knives just for food prep. All of those got taken away as well. So just think about what you're bringing and also check out the restrictions, because I didn't go through everything because I'm only talking about what I saw people have to give up. Um, we're going to be talking about things related to being able to bring them on planes and public transit. If you're driving, the people that drove brought a lot bigger camping setups, much bigger tents, and a lot more gear in general. You can bring carts or wagons to bring your gear in, but there's a width restriction that's on the website because that's the width of the security gates. I'm going to go through what we brought. I'm not going to talk about specific gear because for this, I would say just bring whatever you have. If you don't already have the necessary gear for enjoying your weekend, then I would suggest looking at the pre-setup options, and this would be for anyone going next year because right now they're all sold out. But the pre-setup options were more expensive, quite a bit more expensive than the bring your own gear option. But if you're going to be spending money on camping gear, it might be a better option and maybe nicer accommodations too. So to get everything to the Netherlands, between Tiff and I, we're going to try and get everything into one pack, and this one pack is going to get checked. So Tiff will have her normal Cotopaxi carry-on, which holds quite a bit, which if we can't fit some of the things, like maybe some of my clothing, it will go into her carry-on. But otherwise, all the gear is going to be going into this pack, and I've already fitted in there, so I know it's going to make it in. Inside of the pack is a thick garbage bag, which is I'm using as a pack liner, so that if it does rain when we're in transit, then the gear is not going to get wet. The other thing, because this bag, as well as pretty much any packs, have a lot of straps, have a lot of things that can get caught on, and I'll also have things like the tent poles on the outside pockets. Those can definitely cause a problem on the plane when it's getting loaded and unloaded. And so to avoid that, I have this little duffel which goes down into a fairly small package, but we got this for previous trips, and so far it's worked out well, where the whole pack can go inside of this, and then nothing's going to come out, nothing's going to catch. So it's not necessary. You can definitely tie down all your straps, and lots of people do, but this is something that's worked well for us in the past. But you also need to make sure that you have space for that when you get done with the airport on the other end. So because we're trying to get everything for the two of us in, there's two of most things. So we have two sleeping bags. These ones are down and they're pretty compressible, so they'll go at the bottom of the bag. And so we each have one that we'll be using. The next things are we each have a blow-up pillow. You could get away with not having one and just using some clothes and everything like that, but these don't take up much space and are a lot more comfortable than having our clothing as pillows. We each have a blow-up air mattress. And then we've got our tent. So this one is a 3-person tent. So for the two of us, it has quite a bit of extra space, which is nice because that's where we're going to be spending 3 nights. We have smaller tents, but in this case, we're bringing the bigger one just to be more comfortable. One of the things to note, especially if you have something that is common, we didn't see anyone else with this tent, luckily, but we put some stickers on the tent just to make it sort of show up that it was ours and that we could get to easily. I also put an air tag in it so that in the middle of the night, if we needed to find the tent, we could, because it gets kind of packed and crowded. But if you have something popular, like say a decathlon tent, make sure to make it look like your own, because there will be tons and tons and tons of the same tent. So that's something to keep in mind. A few stickers never hurt, just to differentiate. As I mentioned, the poles I separate just to fit in, and they'll go into the front pocket of the bag. And with them will go my sandals. Tiff sandals will go in her carry-on, but those will come in handy both for the showers, but also there's beaches for the campsite, so it's nice to have some sandals for the beaches. This is going to depend on whether or not there's rain in the forecast. If there's no rain, I might leave it at home, but I have a fairly small packable rain jacket, which I'll most likely bring unless there's absolutely no chance of rain. The fence pegs, again, remember this bag is getting checked, because fence pegs and poles you can't carry on even if you had a small enough shelter and a small enough bag for carry-on. So those are going at the top of the bag so that they don't puncture anything. And then two of the things that we're bringing, one that we brought last time that was great, is a fan. It's a small battery-operated fan. Last time was really hot. If it shows that it's going to be cool at night, maybe we'll leave this behind, but it was fantastic last time because we'd get back to the tent and it would still be very, very hot, and this at least gave some air movement. One of the things that we regret not bringing last time were some camp chairs. A lot of people had them, but we left ours behind because we wanted to save space. because obviously the 2 camp chairs take up a lot of space in the pack. But because we're going to be there a long time, it's worth bringing them. They did just send out a link for the click and collect store where you can rent gear. If there's some good prices on the chairs, then I'll grab them from that. Otherwise, we'll bring our own chairs. And how you pack them will obviously matter in terms of fitting them into your specific bags. Right now, I'm just squishing them in just to show that it all fits in, and just sort of what it looks like at the end. The other thing for the festival is that there's not much shade. Overall, on like the main 2 stages, the only shade you might get is when the sun goes behind like some of the concession stands. Otherwise, it's really open. So having a good hat, either a bucket hat of some sort or a baseball cap kind of thing, is good, or both. That works too. And then having a good set of sunglasses is also very important, because it will be sunny. And then on that same topic, having some sunscreen that's whatever you use and whatever's strong enough for you is also useful. There is beaches at the campgrounds. Comfort Camping, where we're staying, has a separate beach from Grand Camping, but they both have beaches, so we're bringing towels that are big enough for beaches, not just a small shower one. Then I just have in the smallest packing cube, this is just my toiletries kit. It has all the typical toothbrush, toothpaste, that kind of thing. The only things that are specific for this is having some sort of lip balm that has sunscreen in it is helpful. Having some sort of earplugs for nighttime. And then because it is going to be hot, and we're going to be moving a lot, we haven't used this in the past, but we use it when we're hiking sometimes, just a chafing ointment, which might come in handy. And then having something to help with blisters if those develop. Otherwise, it's just your typical items that are in here. And then just a random bag of other things to go in. It's very, very dusty once everybody's in the campground, once everyone's in the festival, because there's a lot of sand areas. And so bringing some sort of wipes, I'm not sure how much we'll use it, but just in case, like, we're tired at the end of the day, we don't feel like showering, we want to at least clean up a little bit. A garbage bag, I think they give us one when we come in, but just having an extra one's not a bad idea. For any sort of sore muscle joint, I usually bring a cork ball. And then I just like to have sort of a notebook, sketchbook, and mechanical pencil, which is good. Now, normally I would put all of my electronics into this bag, but because this bag is getting checked, that means that all the electronics need to come on the plane with me. And so I'll go through all that in a second. I also have one solid water bottle and then one collapsible water bottle that I'm going to be bringing. The collapsible one's going to come into the festival with me because there's refilling stations for water everywhere. So that's going to be sort of what I have with me for that. And it will also come on the plane with me. In terms of the plane itself, obviously I have a neck pillow here, but everything that I'm taking on the plane is going to fit into my sling, which I'll also use during the festival days. Just in case we buy things or we need more space, I have this little collapsible backpack that I normally bring on vacations. And so it just folds up into this and gives us some extra space if needed. Inside are also hand sanitizer, some more sunscreen, the other sunscreen, so that would be in a plastic bag. And then also this little Bluetooth thing, which allows me to use my wireless earbuds on any plane. Now, outlets I remember being in short supply last time as well. There was outlets for things like hair dryers, shavers, stuff like that, but there are only a few outlets and a lot of people. So we're bringing 2 power banks. Hopefully that's going to be enough, and if not, hopefully we're able to find somewhere we can plug in. This one's 10,000 milliamp hours. This one's, I think, 6,700 milliamp hours. So that should probably do, if not the whole time, most of the time, and hopefully we can find some other charging options. I've got this power adapter for the same plugs that are in the Netherlands that has USB and USB-C on it. I have, for the rest of the trip, as well as if we're able to charge, I've got some iPhone cables for the 2 of our phone. I have USB-C, which will charge any of our other devices. And then I also have 2 headlamps. The campsites last time were really well lit, so I don't necessarily think that we're going to need them. We also use them as lights in the tent, but just in case they don't take up much space. For the flight, I'm going to bring my wireless earbuds. And then for the festival, also having some sort of earplugs. I got these at the last Awakenings festival that we went to, and these are the style that let you still hear the music but reduce the decibels a bit. They're not, I don't like them too much, but it's 3 days of very loud music, so I'll be using them most of the time. Maybe there will be certain acts that I take them out for, but if you don't have something, your ears are going to be ringing for a very long time. So that's everything that we're going to be bringing with us, except for having some snacks. So the food inside of Awakenings, it's all vegetarian. It was actually pretty good. I enjoyed it last time, but it does add up in price. So having some sort of snacks is good. But you're not allowed any sort of stove, so you can't boil water. So that's something that might cause some issues in terms of bringing the typical dehydrated camping meals. If you've already gone to Awakenings and there's something that I've missed that you think that I should be bringing, please leave that in the comment. If not, I hope that you enjoyed this video, and let me know if you want to see more things like this. And if you're going this year, hopefully I'll see you there. Thank you.